Hey everybody, JC here with another TNI toy review. And in today's review, we're going to take a look at the new DC Collectibles 7-inch scale New 52 Red Robin figure. Now this figure is part of the Teen Titans series of figures that DC Collectibles has released. It comes packaged in your standard window box packaging. You've got the Teen Titans logo up at the top. The figure's clearly displayed in the packaging. You also have the Batman 75th anniversary logo up at the top, since Red Robin is associated with Batman. You've got white and red borders on the packaging, and then the name of the figure down below. Then on the one side you have the darkened in image of the character, and then on the other side we have an image of the actual figure, and it tells us that this particular figure is based on artwork created by Brett Booth, and that the figure was sculpted by Robert Linders. Then finally on the back of the packaging we have a little thumbnail image of the figure up at the top, along with a little brief bio about Red Robin, and then below that we have a look at the other three Teen Titan figures in the line. Wonder Girl, Superboy, and Kid Flash, all of which have previously been released by DC Collectibles. Okay, so let's get this figure open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging, and for the most part I'm pretty happy with this figure. There's no quality control issues I've had with this particular figure. The paint apps for the most part seem to be pretty strong, and I think the overall look of the figure came out looking pretty good. The figure is basically done in basic red and black. There's not really much in the way of paint washes or anything on the figure, and then you've got like gold mixed in on the belts, on his chest, and on his forearms. And overall, like I said, the figure comes out looking pretty good. The head sculpt I think is pretty strong on this one. It looks pretty true to what you see in the comic books. The hair is sculpted in a kind of wavy comb back look, and I think came out looking pretty good. The only accessory that the figure comes with is his cape, his winged cape, and it is detachable from the figure. Basically it's just got a hole on his back, and then there's a peg sticking out. It's a hard plastic, so it's the cape is not really flexible at all, and it's not articulated. I would have maybe liked to have seen like you be able to pull the wings out for more of a dynamic flight pose, but unfortunately there is no articulation on the cape. But as you see, the cape just fits on the back, and it does fit tightly there. So you don't have to worry about it falling off or anything. Okay, so the figure stands at just under 7 inches tall. Now, I don't know for sure. I'm not that familiar with the height of the character in the comic books. But to me, he comes off seeming a little bit too tall. He's basically the same size as the Greg Capullo Batman. And to me, I don't think he should be as tall as Batman. I could be wrong on that, but it just, my impression is that he should not be quite as tall as Batman. Same thing with Nightwing. He's basically the same size as the Greg Capullo Nightwing figure, and he's a little bit shorter than the Superboy figure, the New 52 Superboy figure. So it's not horrid or anything, but and like I said, I don't know for sure how accurate, how tall he is in the comics, but he does strike me as being a little bit on the tall side. Articulation, it's okay on the figure. I would have liked, to be able to get him in a little bit, some articulation to help him get in some better flight poses. He can't really look up at all, which is unfortunate, and only a little bit, he can look a little bit down. You can turn the head left and right, but it would have been nice if you could put the head up some for flight poses. His arms on that ball joint, he's got pretty good rotation. Even with the cape on, you can rotate the arm around. He has the bicep swivel, which is hidden by the band on his arm. He's got single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. And then he's got a swivel at the glove cuff. No wrist articulation on the figure. No midsection articulation, unfortunately. And the legs are on ball joints. So he can do the splits pretty good, and he can get his leg forward pretty good. Now with the cape on, you can't really do the leg back. You can remove the cape if you want to put the leg back, but with that cape you can't push the leg backwards. No thigh swivel. Does have single hinge knee, so he can bend his knee about that much. He has a swivel at the boot cuff, and then he has the hinges at the feet, so he can do his foot up and down pretty good. And then he has one peg hole on the bottom of his foot, and there's some nice detailing on the treads on the bottom of his boots as well. My review, other than I would have maybe liked to have seen a little bit more articulation on the figure for flight poses, and maybe some articulation on the cape so that you could kind of open the wings up more. I think this is a pretty good looking figure, and a pretty solid figure for the most part. Definitely if you're a fan of the character, I think you'll want to pick this one up. It is hitting comic and specialty shops now, so if you want to pick him up, start checking your local comic book stores. And that's my review. Leave a comment, let us know what you think. Like the video if you liked it, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll check you later.